Sunday morning. We are heading out a little bit later than usual because we are going to a different spot. I decided to go to a mountain that I have never been to before, and therefore I'm not going to drive up a mountain in the dark when I've never been there before. That's dangerous. So we're waiting just before sunrise to actually leave, and it's almost an hour away, so we'll get there after the sun is already up, but we'll see what we can find. I'm just going to walk around, see if we find a good spot to sit down. We're going to take the big camera and all of its accessories. We are going to take the backpack and everything that's packed up in there for survival and other reasons. We've got the seat that I will attach to the backpack, and I wear that around my waist. I wear that around my waist with this, which is where this camera goes. And then also the tripod goes. The brown bag stays behind. There's nothing in it right now. That stays behind, but I might actually fill it. I'm thinking that suitcase goes, we put everything that stays in the car in there. So like water and other stuff that I think is useful. Okay. Went and got gas because even though I had just under a half a tank going somewhere new, not 100% sure the weather conditions, I'm fairly certain. They said we may get snow yesterday, so up in the mountains where I'm going, they probably did get snow. So conditions could be not great. Chance we could get stuck. Hopefully not, but that's why we filled up the tank before we go, and now we're going to head off. It's about 7:15, so 45 minutes away. We'll get there around 8. Sun should have already been up for about a half hour, even though it's going to be cloudy today. It should warm it up a little bit because it's reading 7. It's cold. So, didn't quite go as far as I was hoping as I've been up, this is the mountain closest to town. I've been up into the other side of that, and it turns into a dirt road at some point. And I remember going there being like, well, I don't want to go that far today, so I stopped. I didn't think about, I went down that dirt road another 200 feet from where the road ends. And then there's gates and it says road closed, snowmobile only. Which makes sense. That it's just a dirt path, so it's just a snowmobile place. Which totally makes sense. It's not, Anyway. So I'm just going to get out here and look around for a bit and decide if this is a nice spot to just kind of wander around. They've cleared enough of the snow that I can park off to the side and nobody's going to be bothered by where I'm at. So that's pretty cool. Look at this. Okay. I got out, looked around a little bit. It's not too bad, the weather. I'm up on stuff, so there's a bit of wind, but with the jag and everything, I think I'll be okay. I'm not going very far because I don't know the area and it's cold. I'm going to go to the trees that are just kind of over there, just plop down and see if I can find anything. There's plenty of trees, there's plenty of woods, so if there's anything in there, I think I have a chance. I don't know. We're just going to go find a spot out of the wind and sit down and hunker down for a few hours, and if anything walks our way, great. If not, it's okay. Back in the car, warmed up a bit, got real cold. It says it's 20. That makes sense. The wind picked up a bit more than I was expecting or hoping for, really, which is unfortunate, but didn't see anything. I was out there for a couple hours, just kind of sitting. We had to go through a bit more snow than I was expecting to get there, but I should have expected that, really. It was unexpected, but I should have expected it. Next time I know to bring a shovel. I cleared out a spot. It was about knee deep, so 2 feet, which, we are up on a mountain still, technically. There's a beautiful landscape. I took some pictures. I got some video. Hopefully that comes out. But yeah, it got to a point where I was just too cold and I decided it wasn't worth it. I wasn't seeing anything. People have shown up with snowmobiles to go do whatever on snowmobiles, which I would like one. That would help me get to places instead of just how far away can I walk from the car, since I can't take the car out in the snow. Not really. But anyway, still, good time. I don't know if I'm entirely done yet. We're going to find out. We're going to start going back. We'll see if I find any spots that I can shoot from the car, since it is a chilly day and I don't want to go dig through more snow, having to clear it out to make a spot for the tripod and camera. And this thing's battery is about to die, so we might as well swap in a new one. Well, progress. Well, came back home, literally almost to home. I was about to turn to the apartment complex, and basically 20 feet from my front door is a whole, I'm not sure what you would call a group of pronghorn, but there were quite a number of them right across the street. There's a park right there, which basically is just a playground and some tennis courts, but there's some open grass area. And I just pulled over into the parking lot of the park and grabbed the camera out, not really caring that I'm on the side of a very busy road right there when everybody can see me, which has always been kind of a... Not that I'm ashamed. No, don't think it that way, but more of it's really expensive equipment and I'm just advertising it, and I'd rather not be doing that, which is why I like to go out into the wilderness. But I went out into the wilderness and I sat in a forest for several hours this morning in the snow and didn't see anything, and I come back home and look what's on the front porch. This very much reminds me of a few years ago. There's a blog post about it where I went to a national forest up in Georgia back when I lived there, and I was out there hiking around for 4 or 5 hours and didn't see a single bit of wildlife. And then I come back home and I get one of the best pictures I've ever taken, which is of the red-shouldered hawk that just happened to be, as I was walking from the car, I see it swoop down over the road. We lived in an apartment complex where there were like creeks running in between some of the buildings, and it swooped down to some of the trees that were where the water was. I guess it was sitting there waiting, and I just ran inside, or I grabbed the camera back out and went and took a picture of it. I'm misremembering that. I wasn't walking back. I was cleaning my car because I was like, oh, I should get something productive done today. This was several years ago. But it brings up a good point that I was thinking about my whole drive back home, which is just because I want it to be so doesn't make it so. I want to be wildlife photographer, cinematographer, whatever you want, whatever it is, camera with wildlife. It doesn't happen just because I say so. It's going to take years of practice before I can effectively go out. And some days I still probably won't see stuff. But it took me years to get to the point where, like, the few videos that I have made of the wildlife in the wetlands, that happened because I went to that place repeatedly over and over again until I distinguished that was good and that I would see wildlife there on a regular basis. And then I bought the Pocket Cinema 6K, and then I took it out there and I started recording those over a couple different weeks until I had enough footage to make those videos. So I need to find places like that where I know I can find wildlife when I go out. And the state park, really, is where I'd like to go, but I know I'm going to be going there a lot, and rather than have to pay every single time I go, I'd rather get the pass for a year, and that's the year that I'm going to go do that. But I'm on a paper tag still for this car because COVID reasons, so I still don't have a permanent license plate, which means I don't know my permanent license plate number, meaning I can't apply for one for this car for a year, so I'm stuck in limbo there waiting, hopefully soon, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go follow these pronghorn that have... Oh, they've gone while I've been talking about it, so I better hit the road and go see where they are and see if I can find more spots where I can pull over and film them. Because, hey, I'll take it. Even if the background's not quite as wildlife, I'll take seeing pronghorn in general and still getting practice with the camera over seeing nothing.
What you're seeing here is a lot of me learning. Learning how to focus, learning how to shoot steady video, and this is even stabilized. It's much shakier than this because of the length of the lens, how far away it is. The slightest movement of the camera results in some really shaky footage. Another thing that you see here is kind of the waviness to the video, especially you see it in the background here. That's heat distortion. That is because I'm shooting in the middle of the day when the sun is at its hottest, and it's causing a lot of heat in between myself and the subject, and there's a very long lens in between them. All of these things add up to the point where you just get this heat distortion. If you've ever seen footage of the sun in the desert, that's what that is. There's no way I can fix that besides not shooting at this time of day, which is why I go out in the morning to get the best possible sunlight.